Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Simple Talk. This week, we are speaking with Jeff, the co-owner of A1 Plumbing. Good morning, Jeff. Thanks for joining me.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So you guys recently moved up to North Murray. Tell us about the new building.
Yeah, we did. We're very excited about this move. So we're just kind of settling in. I feel like we'll be a lifetime settling in here. But we moved to 224 North Murray Street. So we have all the space to kind of, we got office space here. We got training space. We have inventory space. So we've been on the search for a good fit for a building for quite a while. So we're really excited to kind of operate it here and have a little bit more kind of space to grow and that kind of thing. So it's been good.
So I'm going to get a tour, right?
Absolutely. Anytime.
I'll be there. This is a family succession. So you've taken over with your brother from your father?
Yeah, so we're very much a family business. So my father has been kind of a plumber his whole life and started in business when he was younger. And then A1 Plumbing in particular started as my father and middle brother probably about 14 years ago now. So they started that, Randy and Corey, and ran it for quite a few years up until recently. Where myself and my youngest brother had taken it over. So Corey had kind of went and moved into working for the fire department full time. Dad's kind of been, playing around with the idea of retirement. So for the last few years, it's been in the kind of care and control of myself and my youngest brother, Nathan. So Dad raised three plumbers.
You never really retire, though. He's never going to leave.
No, that's very true. Yeah, we know that.
So how has the transition been?
The transition's been good. I think probably average. I think our story and the way we go about things is probably really familiar for any kind of small town business where you've had, kind of the newer generation coming up and taking it over from the older generation. And there's a lot of value and good things about that, and there's there's some difficulties and challenges with that option as well too. So I think it's been very, very average, and we've kind of learned a lot through that process.
So you've grown significantly over the last few years. Is that just due to business? Has it been easy for you to get staff on?
I think nothing's ever, I guess, really easy, but it has, in a way, kind of come naturally since we've been able to kind of implement our own, new ways of doing things, and really just trying to encourage, a good, positive work culture. When we started working with Dad about 5 years ago and slowly transitioning with the business at that time, it was, the three boys and Dad and one or two staff kind of intermittently. And currently we're kind of a team of 17 and growing. So, we have been able to grow. I think we've grown in a really positive way, and we've just been able to do that through kind of simple things that I think a lot of people do forget, but just treating people fairly, treating people respectful, and just kind of, putting in the hard work on our end and realizing that, we work for the people that work for us, and that's really honestly the way that I look at it. I work for them. They don't work for me kind of thing. So that
awesome.
helps.
Yeah, I only have a staff of 3 right now,
Right.
but that's hard enough for me. I can't even imagine 17.
Yeah, it's
So
fun. It's crazy. It's exciting. We don't really have a number. People kind of say in the service business, like, how many trucks do you want or whatever. We want to grow it as much as it makes sense to grow it. If we can keep up with demand, but also keep our level of quality and service that we want to provide, then sure, you could continue to grow it. But we have nothing really kind of stuck in our minds of like, we need this many people, or it's just kind of happened like that. And, proven to be successful, I think, for the most part.
So you don't have that huge growth plan, like I'm going to make 20 million in 10 years.
I think everybody has to kind of have plans. I really like to think that I'd be willing to take it as far as it could. I don't really like limiting views of thinking that, you can't do this in Quinte West, or you can't do this in plumbing in general and stuff. So, yeah, I like to think that really the sky's the limit with it. But also kind of just being mindful of your customers and of your employees and of yourself, that whole process, right? That you don't lose touch with any of that just because you want to get to 20 million or 50 trucks or whatever, right?
So as the leader or the co-owner of the business, are you working still in the business or mostly just on the business now?
That's been like the biggest question over the last kind of few years of us taking it over. So definitely a strong mix of both. So I would say most recently, working in the business, to be completely honest with you, and as aware as I am of that theory and what you should be doing and what really matters for growth, we're still in the daily shit of it, I guess, so to speak. So,
do you prefer the in the business work? Is that?
I'd like to do a little bit of both. I guess one of the things that we don't really give ourselves too much credit for is like we're still in the business in the aspect of if you call, you could still get me answering the phone or Nathan answering the phone. We haven't delegated everything. We're going to sweep the floors in the shop or whatever. But in the last couple of years, we've almost completely gotten off the tools, which is a really hard step to do in the trades world. So, I think where my mind goes, I'm not fully there yet because what I like to do is just dedicate my creativity to business direction overall and be able to make time for that. And I still haven't been able to make enough time for that through the week. But simply getting us out of the field and off the tools and able to manage the other guys and manage the frontline phone calls and stuff has really been a big step that we are, it is good. And it has been important for business because in the trades, you really can't do everything. You can't be on the tools and managing and the phones. It's just does not happen.
So do you have a lot of other staff that are family as well?
Corey, that had originally started the business, still works for us casually. So his full-time energy goes into his job at the fire department. And when he can help us off on some time off and stuff, he's still in. So the middle brother's still with us, which is great to have him whenever he's capable of jumping back in. Dad's still here when he's not doing retirement things. Like right now he's in Florida. So we still have Dad around and intend to for quite a while. Other than that, that's really it. I think we kind of realized like right off the get-go that, there's the positives to the family, but we've also made the joke like, we're not going to bring our sister into this, or we're not going to bring a cousin into this. Like, this is already complicated enough. Yep. So we were kind of big on hiring people that we had no relationship with, like really through job ads and stuff. And that's good. Sometimes it is too easy to surround yourselves with, well, I have this position coming up and it's easy just to hire a friend or to hire your wife or whatever. And maybe that's not the best thing to do. It's just the easiest thing to do. And then it ends up affecting that relationship and stuff too. So.
Yeah, I can assure you that hiring someone who's a friend is not a good idea. So like, I don't know if I met you at or saw you at a chamber event or something. And then all of a sudden, all I could see was A1 plumbing trucks everywhere. It was like I was being assaulted. Awesome. And I was like, I had to talk to this guy.
No, I love to hear that. I think it is one of those things that we are around there, and we do have a lot of trucks on the road right now, and it's, you may not notice. It's like you don't notice that anybody drives a car you just bought, until you buy it, and then it's like, oh my God, everybody's got a Ford Focus. You start seeing them around town. But I think that's great because we do want to be out there, and we do want to be visible, and we are always, in kind of all the far reaches of our service area and stuff. So,
So,
the family thing, I have to give credit because my wife Brittany is an amazing bookkeeper, and we've kind of set that boundary too of kind of like business and do you get involved? And because of our move and our fast growth and everything, she has got involved lately, and that's worked out well. So,
good for her.
Member involved. So.
Props to Brittany.
Yeah, exactly.
She come into work and she's like, "It's Brittany, bitch."
Yeah, I think she said that before. Actually, yeah, I'm sure she has.
Where exactly do you guys service?
So what we say is like the Quinte and surrounding area, but to kind of put more borders to it is, going south, we'll do the whole county. So the furthest reaches of the county. Cressy Point, we have some customers down there. I think that's kind of maybe as far as you can get in the county. North, Highway 7 really isn't a boundary. We'll go a little more north than that, but it's just kind of a good way to say, okay, this is kind of a divide. But we do have customers that are 10, 15 minutes north of Highway 7. So Marmora, Madoc, Tweed, 100% serve those areas. East, we don't go too much past Tyndanaga. We might have the odd customer kind of on this side of Napanee, but really it's Tyndanaga area. And then west would be not too much further than Brighton. So really it's a big service area, and it's for someone that's not really around here, it is harder to explain because we're just made up of a bunch of pockets of smaller towns, right? So.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy what's included in Quinte West.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It actually irritates me when I order stuff because it populates Quinte West. And if you leave it as Quinte West, most times you won't get your package. You have to change it to Trenton because even though they've changed it, nobody else recognizes it. Such a huge area. So it's been great chatting with you, Jeff. If you could just let us know where people can find you, how they can get a hold of you if they have any plumbing problems.
Yeah, for sure. So you can really, I like to think, get a hold of us anywhere. So whether you want to text, email, call, Google our name, through social media. So we try to be on all those kind of facets of contact. So, our phone number, to throw that out there, you can like edit it down in there, but 613-398-0599. A lot of people just prefer to call a plumber or talk to a real person right away, and you do when you call us. But if you want to message us through Google, Facebook, Instagram, text that same business line.
So anywhere. Jeff is available at all times, people. So I will drop all of that in the show notes so that everyone has it. So they didn't have to write that down really fast. But yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thanks so much for joining me.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.